Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Around the Ballpark podcast for your January 25th, 2026 Sunday evening. And this is episode number 140. So we got a little rock jam going on to celebrate. It's a great number, 140. And thank you. We are coming with you live at 7:30. Sometimes it's 7:30, sometimes it's 8. We appreciate your patience with whichever way we go. But Darren, I've got to ask you the elephants in the room. By the way, nice house. My house is nice as well.
We got a twofer.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's so clean. It's every single time. I love that. So shout out to our cleaning department. But I've got to ask about your jersey first because I'm looking at it, and so I'm going to ask you about it. So,
well, I'm already. In fact, that's why my head is down right now because I'm already responding to some people. And you might see what I put on social media. It is not a Bronco jersey.
Oh, okay. It definitely looks like it. So.
All right. Now, listen, if you harken back, for those of you who don't miss an episode, and why would you, right? Why would you miss one? I was asked a couple of weeks ago. Remember, I said, let's ask our audience, our ever-growing audience. And by the way, how many people are in our audience right now? I'm meaning subscribers. Where are we sitting at right now?
So we are at 3,916.
So I love that. So 3,916 possibly at one time heard us talk about this. You and I talking about it. So remember when I wore the Christmas Vacation Chicago Blackhawk jersey? Remember that was put on? Mm-hmm. What was the other jersey that was up for bid?
The other one would be the answer. The other one.
Waterboy jersey, right?
Waterboy, yes. Yep.
Bobby Bouffrain, see?
Does it have his name on the back or is it just the nine?
Yes, it does.
It says Waterboy, right? On the back. Oh, Boucher. Okay.
My daughter just rolled her eyes at me. That is horrible. Rolled her eyes.
Can't do that on the podcast.
No, okay, she said she didn't. She can lie with that. So...
Uncle Michael would never believe you.
That's true. Uncle Michael would not believe me. You're right. That's why he's laughing.
Well, I hope you're doing well, Lauren. Nice to hear from you.
He says he hopes you're doing well.
I am.
So listen, different subject, same subject. So since we're talking about, so that's what this is now. Here's the thing. You know where I live. I live in the heart, the epicenter, if you will, of Patriot country, right? In Massachusetts. I live in Cape Cod. Boston's probably the heart, but this is like one of the real close proximity. Anyway, so there was no way I could wear this because I don't want to sit with a bunch of people watching the game with, why are you wearing a Bronco jersey? But I promised that I would wear this regardless. So here it is. And I'm wearing it with pride. And so I come downstairs for dinner. And my wife, we call her Jackie because that's her name. So she looks at me like and then my brother-in-law's wife, Christine, goes, why are you wearing a Bronco jersey? I go, what a boy. And I go, oh! Oh!
I mean, yeah, because it's a signature orange. It's
yes.
Is what it
is.
I
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. So how was your day?
My day was packed. 2 services, then had to pick up groceries, came home, had to undo the groceries, had to be at a park at 3 for an outdoor service that Eileen partakes in, and Mark and Heather, of course, Unbox Society. That was today.
How was
we
that?
did that. That was awesome. We had nice cheeseburgers at 3 o'clock. And then after that, worship started at 4. And then our buddy Vance gave a nugget tonight. So he spoke. So that went until about 5:15 or so. Then I just got to the church for our 5:30 evening service for Heart and Soul Night. So that just ended. Then we had an ice cream social. And then I'm here for the podcast. So it's just one.
Shiny new homes.
So, yes, right? Looking forward to tomorrow because tomorrow is just work and nothing else. So
those of you who are watching, and I know if you could be watching maybe tomorrow because that's the beauty of what the kids call the interweb, not in the internet. So I just love the fact, and I'm going to share this with people, Mike. I hope you don't mind, that Mike has such power. He makes calls. He calls everybody in our neighborhoods. Nobody ever knocks on the door during our podcast, right?
That's true. Yeah. They know to stay away.
They know stay away because you got that kind of influence in a good way. You know,
And I make sure that it's still light outside during our podcast because that's important. So
I forgot you can control the sun. You know,
yes. There now it is actually a feature on StreamYard where I can do that, but it's a cool additive feature. I appreciate it very much. Hello, Christina. Thank you for joining
hi, Christina.
us. And a few others that I can't see your name, but you're there, so I see you. Yes, Darren. So we have in 20 minutes from now, Briahnna Jacob, one of the finalists from Extravaganza's Got Talent, will be with us. I believe she makes number 5, I believe, because we had to reschedule once. I think she is our 5th participant from that, so that's super exciting. But before we do that, Darren, I've got to ask you because I was doing 100 things. The Denver Broncos today was in the thumbnail. Denver Broncos, New England Patriots, AFC Championship game. I saw the score 10-7 in favor of the Patriots. New England is going to the Super Bowl, but I need to know what happened because I have no clue other than what the final score was.
So, as you know, Denver had to start a backup. And I bring that up only because he's been a backup for a long time, gets paid literally, I think, close to $8 million a year to be a backup. So it's not like just a guy who's holding a clipboard and hope for the best.
Right.
The Patriots played an almost perfect game, and I'll tell you why. They were almost too cautious, but they played enough. They didn't. Denver has a very good defense. Their offense is a little suspect sometimes to begin with, and they just played it right. They missed the Patriots missed a 63-yard field goal right at the end of the first half, which I thought might bite them. But they got the ball back. They played ball control. As an old collegiate offensive lineman, I loved watching them run the ball. And Denver, on the second series of the game, scored a touchdown. But after that, Denver made some adjustments and put a little more pressure on the quarterback, who did not play badly, threw a horrendous pick at the end of the game, and that was the difference. What a boy. That's right. Thank you.
So she knew right away.
Yeah, see? What
Yes.
a boy.
That's why she is the better half, because she knows these things.
Yes, absolutely. And nobody in my house, knew that. They thought I was wearing Denver clothes, and which was not good. So anyway.
Is there a bad? I have to ask this just because we went there real quick. I know we have topics and such, but
since when do we stay on script?
Right. So Adam Sandler, there's the movies that are up here. I didn't see Waterboy 2 though, so I have to make that. I haven't seen Happy Gilmore 2, but
horrible.
Are there some horrible Adam Sandler movies like horrible? Like I know Little Nicky was really, really bad, and some others, but it's more hits than misses, I think, maybe, but it's maybe like 60-40, would you say? Something like that.
How do I put this? I think that Adam Sandler is a wonderfully smart individual. He maximizes his talent, stays in his lane. I think I'm being very serious. I think early on, when Netflix started to grow, and they would overspend to get a talent like Adam Sandler to do movies on their channel, which they did, he was locked in for life. And I think he makes passion projects now because the movies themselves are not very good. They're not awful. They're not The Waterboy. They're not Billy Madison. They're not The Wedding Singer. That's when all those movies he was in his prime. I think after the movie that you mentioned, Little Nicky and Remote Control, I think it was called, it started to go downhill. He dabbles in some serious work. He actually is a good actor. But I don't think his best movies are on Netflix. Let's put it that way. And I thought Happy Gilmore 2 was terrible.
That was, unfortunately, all those years, and that's kind of what I've heard. I haven't seen. I usually try to give the movie the benefit of the doubt, but I don't think I've heard one positive just yet. So, but but getting back to the game tonight. So unfortunately, it is what it is. New England's going to the Super Bowl. If you're the coach, you can't, and if you're Denver's coach, you can't in the locker room. You understand that it would have been a different game if they had Nick's at quarterback, of course, and stuff like that. But what is your speech to your team after that? Because they don't really want to hear like, oh, look how far we made it. We'll get them next year. Like they're probably very upset. So how do you what do you say in that moment? Because they are still professional. I still expect them to step up. They have the home field advantage. I know they're playing a really, really good team. But what would your speech be in that locker room?
All right. Here's what happened. They had a game plan, and they executed the game plan. It was 10-7, the final score. It was 10-7 with 3 minutes to go, and Denver had the ball. Hey, Burger Man, what's going on? And so it was theirs to take. It was there to either go. They tried to get a game-time field goal, but you'll see the weather was perfect during the first half, and then was like a blizzard in the second half. Swirling winds, this and that. And unfortunately for Denver, they missed that field goal that would have tied it. And then when they had the ball with 3 minutes to go, I really thought they may go in. A pass that they threw was intercepted on the 10-yard line. And the ball was a little underthrown. It was a wonderful play by the defensive back. And as a Jet fan, it's tough for me to say that about a Patriot, but it was true. And the ball was underthrown, and because of the wind and some of the other things. So I think as a coach, head coach, I know what I would say to my team, which would have been this: we got unfinished business. Be disappointed, not upset. There's a difference. It wasn't like a fumble because we dropped the ball. It wasn't like an interception because it was a bad pass. I mean, it was a little thrown a little short. But the conditions were horrible. Let's focus on this. Let's come back. Think about this. 1968, Colts played the Jets in the Super Bowl. They lost. 2 years later, they win the Super Bowl. They win the Super Bowl after that. They beat Dallas. They win that one Super Bowl there. They're close. Broncos are close. Just work on what they have. My thing would be this. You can be upset. But you want to be on this team next year, you got to prepare. We got 1 more week to prepare now because we're not going to the Super Bowl. Let's rest up and start for next year. I think I accentuate the positive in a very tangible way. I don't do the yay us, more like we got unfinished business to do. Time for react.
Yeah, because especially when a team, I know they had the backup, but when a team beats you in that environment, in your own stadium, you get kicked in the mouth, and getting kicked in the mouth is a better way to. It's better to say we got kicked in the mouth. We're going to overcome that than it is to say, "Oh, we were so close, though. It's a moral victory." Like,
no.
No. And hi, Dash. Thank you for joining us as well. Excited to hopefully soon announce some progress with some. Merchandise perhaps on looming here, maybe by March, April for Around the Ballpark. So
love that.
Posted as we kind of navigate that scenario, but definitely we'll keep you posted as that comes. But yes, thank you, Dash, for joining us. And again, guys, if you just joined us now, 10 minutes from now, we will have joining us online from the Extravaganza.
Hold on. Well, listen. I want you to understand something because we're live, right? Mike, look at the way you're dressed. Look at the way my son is dressed.
87 degrees.
87 degrees.
The webcam doesn't do it justice. I mean, did you say 87?
He said 87.
Yeah. So tomorrow we're getting rain tomorrow, and then it's going to be 52 on Tuesday, which to us is like going to Antarctica.
52 degrees. It's going to be on Wednesday, and it might rain tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. So, send your thoughts and prayers because as a
send your thoughts and prayers.
Eileen got to go to the beach the other
maybe
day.
52 degrees apart.
Yeah, but January is our only cold month, but lately we get these little mini warm fronts in our cold month. So yeah. So yeah, he definitely looks like he's about to brave Antarctica going out there. They just had, and I'm gonna do a bonus episode on Friday with the Royal Rumble coming up this Saturday. I'm gonna be doing a bonus episode, but they were in Montreal for Saturday night's main event, and it was -7 degrees start time. And you see these people in the arena, and I understand they probably took their jackets off, but a lot of t-shirts and shorts, but it's because they probably got overheated in that hot arena and stuff like that. But man, I don't know what I would do with -7. Man,
it's interesting. It's interesting you mentioned that. The other day on social media, I posted that it was 10 degrees, and somebody who we may get on our show here, former NHL tough guy Kevin Kaminsky, played for the Washington Capitals, played for the Nordiques, played for the Minnesota North Stars. He texts me back privately and goes, "It's -30 here."
Since when you get 10 degrees and you get bullied, that's not good. But maybe on and I could just announce this now, on February the 12th, we will be having Locked On Capitals podcast network will be on with us. Super cool. A long time ago, we had the Locked On Rockies and we had Locked On Reds. So this would be our third Locked On, which is an awesome get. So, maybe that night,
Yeah, give me more information, because Kevin Kaminsky was a legend and for the Washington Capitals. He was, he fought every big guy in the NHL, and he was 5'10".
Yeah. Also, us here at the Around the Ballpark podcast, I will be sometime very shortly on the Jake DeMarco podcast. He was a guest of ours not too long ago, so looking forward to that and talking the wrestling game. With Royal Rumble is the most popular pay-per-view on the calendar. WrestleMania is what it is, but Royal Rumble gets the most views. It's the most fun. Having a big get-together on Saturday, although it's going to be at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Because it's in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, what's that feel like? I mean, seriously, what is the buzz for?
When it's in the evening, it just adds to the ambiance and stuff. At 2:00 in the afternoon, it just kind of ruins the experience. And we wanted to. A buddy of mine was going to lend us his projector screen for outside, and we wanted to watch it out there. But if it ends at 6 p.m., it gets dark around 5:45. So I don't know. We might pause the event for like an hour and like eat a bunch of nachos and then go outside. I don't know, because
you just gotta hope nobody tells anybody what happened.
Exactly, but that I was gonna start it at 6 and hope for no spoilers, but it's really hard nowadays. People get automatic notifications on their phone and all that jazz. So, but is what it is. But
so you want a little scoop?
Yes, scoop it up.
And then I got to go back to wrestling, because I am legitimately interested. And as you know, one of the residents in the residential home that I run is a huge wrestling fan. But here's the scoop. So, everybody has a little side hustle. So, you know what I do for a living? In fact, these last 2 weeks, I put in 167 hours, with only 4 of those hours being asleep. So, anyway, bring all that up because we do the podcast, and we do social media, but a former NFL player, I don't want to sound like that guy. He knows my background in playing and coaching, so I might be scouting. So I'll get my scouting accreditation, and I might be a scout to try to get people to colleges and teams and all that good stuff. So tune in for that, because that's a whole different world that we can explore. What scams, what's not scams, what goes in. Love that.
That's really cool. Keep me updated with that. That's really interesting. When are you going to kind of know next steps on that?
So I had a conversation on last Thursday, and we're putting the second conversation in. And we're just going to take it from there. And it's a company that's been around since 1970, very legitimate. and trying to look for some talent here in the Northeast. So I'll do that on my, as my side hustle. And one thing, I care about people, right? And I want to help these people get seen. So,
yeah, and that's I as the time goes by, I just really appreciate getting like those that are just like you said, those that have not been seen, eyes have not been on, to get the help in whatever way we can to help them get that experience.
And you know what I thought of very, very seriously as we segue to our guest eventually. I thought of what you do with the talent show, right? I mean, you talk about local talent, getting seen, getting the chance to perform, and that's just taking that and just kind of targeting it a little bit towards sports. I love it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, again, I will be on Friday. You'll see a video come out, Royal Rumble prediction show, like a bonus episode. I will give you my thoughts on all 4 matches. There's only 4 matches, including the men's and women's Royal Rumble. I'll give you my thoughts on who I think is going to win. But do you think our Paddington Bear would stand a chance though? Like, do you think he could at least eliminate somebody from the match, or would he just be a foregone elimination? What do you think?
I think he would win.
You think he would win it?
Yeah. Now I'm going to show my ignorance and my apologies. Is the Royal Rumble where there's 30 different wrestlers? What's that one called?
Yeah, so it's that one. So they start off with 2, and every 2 minutes, another one, they count down, and another one comes to the ring.
Okay, so here's why I think Paddington would win. All right, not saying he would. All right, he's what? Less than knee high?
That is true.
So you have to look down to try to grab him.
Right.
So while you're looking down, you are now vulnerable to the other wrestlers in the ring. So if he was, say, pick number 1, when it's just him and the other wrestler, he's going to have to run. He's just going to run around the ring like a crazy person. Like this. And
I thought, but see, that's a strategy. A lot of the guys, smaller guys, the inexperienced guys, they like to hide under the ring. They like to hide behind things. And that's typically what they do. And there's been some rumbles where there's 2 guys left in the ring, and then this guy comes out from under the ring. You forgot about him because he was eliminated 30 minutes ago. Paddington, though, has a different strategy this year, because I really thought the same. I thought he'd hide under the ring. He's a small guy. When Cody or somebody's not looking, he could just toss him out from behind. He's decided to go with a unique strategy for this year's event. And I don't know if that's going to work, though, because I feel like they're going to, the Undertaker's looking at him, and he's just going to easily get tossed over. So hiding is okay, but taking a nap during the Royal Rumble, not the way to go.
So let's go back to that photo for a minute. There's a lot to unpack there. Ready?
Yeah.
So his strategy is lulling everybody to sleep.
Yeah.
Right? There you go.
Yep.
But let me ask you this. What kind of sandwich is that? What kind of bite is that in a sandwich? And is he brushing his teeth as he eats a sandwich?
I mean, I guess so.
Right? Because he really does care about appearance. Right?
Yeah.
He doesn't forget to brush his teeth.
And if you don't, and if this is your first time watching us, you know what the heck's going on. Paddington is a friend of the show, but no offense, Paddington, but I would stay out of this year's Royal Rumble. Too much good talent there. I think I would revisit the strategy, but no, I don't know what he's eating there in that sandwich. But he looks peaceful. He looks very peaceful.
He does.
But you don't want to put your viewers to sleep. That's the problem.
No.
You're trying to sell tickets. You're trying to get.
And why again does he have his suitcase? I know he's a bear on the move. We know this, but still.
Right. What do you call it? Just making sure. Do that. You were good to go. Okay, just messaging the guest, making sure she's good. I did put in the thumbnail, Darren, as well, in addition to this game here and stuff about Madison Square Garden. So I want to just quickly ask you at the end of the show, we'll go there. We'll make sure we discuss that just for a slight moment, because I've been there a few times. But Darren, if you're ready, I'm ready. We're going to have Bree join us on the show.
Yeah, I'm ready.
And, so let us go. So Hello. How are you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks
How are
for joining
y'all?
us. Appreciate
Doing
it.
great.
Of
Good to
course.
see you again. Good to see you
Good
again.
to see you too.
Yes, I can't believe it's been over a full month already. Absolutely crazy.
I can't believe that.
But Bree, what we're going to do is we're going to run our intro here. We did like a soft opening at 7:30. We're going to do our intro here. As soon as we get back on, kind of introduce everybody, and then Darren's going to do our sponsor read. We are sponsored by Nashville Tax Solutions. So we'll do a quick sponsor read, and then we'll get to go in on our chat and all that good stuff. So
Cool. Sounds good.
bear with me as I hit that button. So guys, stay with us. We are going to be back in just about 45 seconds. All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast, and we are back here with Bree Jacob, and we're going to get to know who she is in just a moment, but thank you for joining us and putting some time aside for us on your Sunday evening. Darren, it's great, as always, to have you with us, and before we can continue, you see at the bottom of the screen there our little ticker talking about Nashville Tax Solutions, but Darren, let our listeners know about the good folks over at Nashville Tax Solutions who we could not do this. They were with us from day one. We had under 100 subscribers, and now as we sit less than 90 subscribers away from 4,000, we are so very close. Couldn't do it without them. But Darren, if you wouldn't mind sharing some words.
So this time of year, New Year's is over, the holiday decorations are away. You're thinking about taxes, and it's just a reality, right? We all can make those jokes, right? But we need to pay our taxes. And a lot of times we try to use maybe an easy form when we really shouldn't. Nobody wants to leave money on the table. Or there's a problem. And we want to make sure that you work that problem properly and you don't let it keep you up at night. So, if you're dealing with tax issues, you're behind on your filings or you were hit with a lien. Sometimes, for example, you take money out of your 401k and you don't realize that there are tax ramifications. Well, you know who does know and understand this? Nashville Tax Solutions. So I've heard from people in Palm Bay, Fort Pierce, and all over who said that Chris Bennett and his team turned a financial nightmare into peace of mind. When a problem comes up, don't run from it. Run toward it. And run toward it with Chris Bennett and his team. So if tax stresses keep you up at night, call 855-627-4829, visit NashvilleTaxSolutions.com, or email info@NashvilleTaxSolutions.com. Nashville Tax Solutions, real people who get real results.
Thank you, Darren. I appreciate it. And thank you, Christopher and team. I'm sure you're watching the NFC Championship game right now between the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. Shame on you, though, Chris. You should be watching us here on the podcast, and you can watch that game later. But that's okay. We love you anyway. But thank you guys so much for joining us. I see all you there. Let us know that you're here in the comments so that way we can say hello to you. But tonight, it is all about our very special guest, Bree Jacob. Bree, how have you been doing? I think it was December the 20th. So here we are 25 days into the new year. So just want to kind of get to know you, who you are,
Sure.
what you do, and where those interested can find on social media. If you do want to share any kind of your social media tags, things like that.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's been a whirlwind. I can't believe it's been over a month. That's crazy since everything. Yeah, I'm Bree Jacob. I'm not really like an artist or anything. This is just a hobby of mine, and I, stepped out of my shyness and just went for it and had a great time. But I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I do have a little bit of music in my background. I grew up in the Nashville area, I remember seeing the Nashville Tax Solutions tent at the event. And I was like, oh, Nashville, what? um, and yeah, I studied music business in college at Lee University, which I loved. I had a great experience there. And I took a bit of a hiatus from music stuff, honestly, after I moved down here and just wanted to get back into writing again. And yeah, the event was a great space for me to be able to step out and do that.
That's awesome. And I won't share where or anything like that. When I was trying to get the info together, just to get like the bio and pick and all that stuff for the thumbnail for the podcast, I saw where you work. Actually, my wife starts there tomorrow. So super, super excited. Her name's Eileen. So it's her first day. She's super looking forward to it. So we'll see how that goes. But
cool. That's
yeah,
awesome.
she's been with doing wouldn't say child, like she's been a teacher for several years, and it was just time for a new calling, and she's very excited for the experience. I think she interviewed early December and got it, and so been patiently waiting for tomorrow. So her name's Eileen. If you see her around, say hello. But
that's cool.
So looking forward to that. But so yeah, so what I wanted to ask you first, and I'm sure Darren's got several questions as well, but so you auditioned for the Extravaganza's Got Talent, and we wound up having 46 or so, actually more, that came in after the deadline, submissions that came in, and we had decided early on that the most we could do was 8 submissions, and it was very, very difficult to narrow down. Not every single audition was a home run, but it was very difficult. I remember, I think it took several hours for the team to a few individuals to go through everything, and we were like, it'd be fun to call the contestants or message them and do it that way rather than just an email and stuff. So that was a lot of fun doing that. But just so you know, our heartbeat with the Extravaganza, we've had other well-known artists come before. We really wanted to focus on local talent, whether they want to do it as a hobby, whether they want to make that their career, whatever the case may be. We really wanted to focus on local talent. And so this birthed last year, or 2 years ago now, when Dahlia won the first year, and we were excited to bring it back and stuff. And so wanted to ask you your initial reaction after the phone call was made that you were selected, kind of like what you felt, your emotions, all that sort of stuff. And then if you had like any nerves before coming to sound check and all that stuff.
Yeah, I love the phone call that you gave us, a phone call to find out. I was honestly kind of surprised and honored, to be chosen to perform at the event. And I was terrified, absolutely terrified. But I have 2 little boys, and it was nice to show them, like, hey, I have this thing that I enjoy, and I'm terrified to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. And so it was so fun that they got to see that. And that my husband Ben got to be on stage with me helped.
Icing on the cake, put the nerves at ease a little bit.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And honestly, everyone there, I was at sound check. I was the first one to, do a run through, and I'm glad because everybody was so good. I think I would have been like even more nervous to perform the next day. So yeah, it was awesome.
It felt like we were at this like variety show that was just like, it could have been held inside of a theater. Like it was so good start to finish, both at sound check and the day of. And so I was just pleased. And as I think you mentioned, like you said, you were the first one to come. We always pray on the grounds of the property. We always to protect all the children and the families and everything. Every square inch we pray over. So I remember as you came up, like, we're not weird people. We're just praying over the property, because that was the first visual. You see us,
everybody just walking
around in circles, and some people probably could have been like, "What's happening here?"
Yeah, I love that. That was awesome.
That's great. And I have one more question, and then Darren, if you want to ask a couple right after that and stuff. But so the morning of, I know you were there the night before for sound check, but did you have like an expectation or what it might look like, what it might feel like, that sort of thing, when you first pulled in to the grounds and kind of like, okay, is this going to just be like a stage? And then there was so much more. I mean, you saw some of the stuff in the dark, but like, tell me a little bit about that.
It was bigger than I thought, which I'm glad I didn't know going into it, but I saw it in all the people, and like, there was a Ferris wheel. It was like, oh my goodness, what did I get myself into? But it was awesome. And just, I mean, God was in it at that event. Like I was so impressed with everyone and how smoothly it was run. And my family had a great time. We had friends come and bring their kids. They had a great time. It was just awesome. And everybody, like all the contestants, I sometimes get in my head because if you've been around musicians, like some of them can be a little competitive. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
But everyone there was so supportive and so encouraging, and I just had the best time. It was so much fun.
That's awesome. I remember um, when the first person went up and I forget who went first. Oh, I think it was uh, that's right, No Doubt, the singer who did No Doubt.
Yes.
Oh
And I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
ooh, that set the bar. And then it was just one after another. And I was like, man, yes, it was tough having to be one of the few that selected the top 8, but I'm glad I didn't have to pick after that
It
because
was a hard
it was
choice.
hard.
Yeah.
But you were right though. Like the contestants were cheering each other on. They were dancing. It was just
Hmm.
really, really cool. But go ahead, Darren. I know you have some questions. So.
Well, a couple things, and it was wonderful talking to you right after. You can tell when we had our brief conversation. A couple things. First thing, how happy you were. Not that it was over, but that you did it. You can
Yeah.
tell that you were very, very happy. Also, the vibe of oneness between you and your husband was
Oh, thank you.
outstanding. He was looking at you like, I am so proud of my partner. And you
Oh,
made sure you brought him up. And that's the way, it should be, right? And it was
yeah.
beautiful. Um, your performance was spectacular.
Oh, thank you. That
So,
means a lot.
and so there's a couple of things I want to talk about that. So when you're in the middle of it, do you become focused on just the moment? Like, do you not see the audience? Walk me through all of that.
Yeah, I think in the moment, partially, like usually I try to like tune everything out and not see the audience, but it was hard when I could see my boys and
Sure.
then my friends' kids, so but I'm trying to zone out, but then I kind of put everything else away and I try to focus on I wrote this song. It's basically a conversation between me and God. I wrote it for me. I had never intended to share it ever. So
We
it's
love that you
crazy
did.
that oh, thank you. So I think in the moment I was just telling myself if this just touches one person, just trying to zone out and just feel it and be, in the moment.
Well,
One thing I was, and Darren, I know
go
you.
ahead. I'm sorry,
Okay,
Mike.
I was just gonna share one thing. I like taking pictures. I got a specific cell phone so I could take nice pictures and stuff. But what happens is I get caught up in the moment a lot of times. So we go to these events, we do these things, and I'm just there because I don't want to just the whole time. Like I remember I would share this once in the podcast. I don't want to just go to SeaWorld, record the Shamu show or whatever the whole time, just looking at I want to be in the moment. I want to experience it. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, I barely had any videos or pictures of the event because I was enjoying everything and stuff. So if you do have any photos or pictures that family shared and stuff, we've had a few other contestants on the show I encourage to send over so we can
Oh
get them on our
yeah.
Extravaganza website and all that good stuff too.
Sure.
Because
I definitely got some.
awesome. Yeah, it's cool.
So I wanted to ask, when we use the term, at least I do a lot, lean into, or okay, I'm committed to this. I'm going full bore because I know you're not alone. You're there with God. But you just didn't go up there and perform. You performed original material that. Walk me through the process of you writing that song. What inspired you? Does the music
Yeah.
come first? Did the lyrics come first?
Sure. Lyrics for me definitely came first. I wrote it in 2020. We
Mhm.
were trapped inside a lot. I was going through a difficult season in my health,
Mhm.
and I just hit a low point. And the song came out of that. And so it was super vulnerable. And that's why I said I'd never intended to share it. It was just for me, between me and God, a reminder to myself that he calls us lovely because he loves us. We're lovely
Yep.
because of his love. Um, yeah, so the lyrics came first and then the music. Actually, to prepare for the audition, I had to learn, like I had to finally put music to it, like and
Mhm.
actually learn to play it to actually audition. So, it was a cool experience to be able to share that. It's interesting because I don't know if other musicians feel this way when you like write and sing something that's super vulnerable, but I feel like, the devil tries to make us feel like the ick or something, you know?
Absolutely does. Yes.
Don't do that. Don't tell this. Don't share that. So I definitely the day of had a lot of that feeling. But I'm glad that I overcame that and, shared it with everyone.
It was really fantastic. And Mike talks about this a lot, and he's so accurate. The fact that every one of you, when the final four was selected or whatever, were just there rooting each other on. And it wasn't just the old golf clap. I mean, it was legitimate. You can see it, It was great. Whether there's still performances going on,
Yeah.
it just was great. And the vibe was wonderful. Did you get a
Awesome.
chance to partake in any of the fun stuff? And if so, what did you do? And were you more of the hot dog person or the cotton candy person or none of the above?
We had a hot dog. We maybe hopped in line twice. My son, my 4-year-old, almost 4-year-old, loved the foam area.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Absolutely covered in it with dirt. Yeah,
Good
we
times.
had the
That's great.
mess to prove that we had a good time. It was great.
I don't mean to be redundant about this. We've talked about this in previous podcasts about the event, but it was mentioned to people. It was all free. The hot dogs, the cotton candy, the foam, everything was free.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't believe that. I didn't believe it until I got through the line. I was like, okay, I guess it really is free.
Because
It
when
was
you
a blessing.
because when you
Yeah.
plan this event, we meet every Monday for 7 months, 3 hours, at every little detail.
Wow.
And then we'll get this opportunity, like the dunk tank, for example, for the podcast. That was an opportunity. We're like, okay, we'll spend a little bit. Let's get that. And then the Ferris wheel, that was a huge leap of faith. Got that. Okay, that was great. And then the foam pit. And then we had the snow. And we saw the snow in addition to the foam pit. We had the snow in another section that was by the stage. And so, like, as these things tackle on, it's awesome. But now I'm thinking about this year's, and I'm like, how are we going to top like that? Like,
That's amazing.
asking already about a carousel, and someone wants a slide, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my
In fact,
goodness.
ask
I'm
Bree.
excited.
Ask Bree. Your question is, what would you? Yeah, I like that. Ask what if
Yeah,
you in
so-
charge? What would you? Go ahead.
So if you were like, I don't know, if you drove to this event, you're just going with family for whatever, and you're like, oh, that was a great time. Like, oh, the only thing it was missing was this. Like, what was like that feedback to because with that said, like, there's certain things we can't do. Like, if it's a free event,
Sure.
we're not gonna be able to do pizza. Like, we
Right.
the budget for
Right.
that would be ridiculous, or burgers and stuff. We had one company
Mhm.
do burgers for us one year. They made 50 burgers, and we were out in 5 minutes. So so
Wow.
yeah.
Honestly, I would have to think on it because I didn't come away with it thinking like, oh, this was missing, or because it was more than I thought it was going to be. I mean, me and my family had a great time.
Mhm.
We enjoyed everything. I felt like there was something for like all the ages could enjoy.
Yeah.
And I like the hot dogs, and I would have to think on it to try to think of something else. I had a blast with what was there, and it was so well run and organized. I mean, I really do like commend you and the team. Like, it's such a well put together event. Like, I can tell it's done in excellence. You strive for excellence, and that it had been well prayed over, and it was amazing.
Yeah, the praying, especially at our meetings, we have all different, and it's not, our team's not just from the house church. We have several individuals from different churches, and that's what it should be about. And I love that the event, we don't have some of the really big churches quite yet on board, but we're praying and believing that we will. But
Oh, yeah.
some of our partnering churches that help make this event possible really, really is so much appreciated. And the businesses that we have and the partners to make it, and even the partners, they stepped up. Like, every booth had something fun. Like, even a National Tax Solutions, there was something fun to do. It wasn't just business card and a paper. Like, there was fun stuff everywhere. And so I wish, like, as much fun as I have kind of overseeing the event, I wish I could have a day to like go in and do everything. Like, I did get to ride the Ferris wheel the day before, right after I passed the
Oh, good.
inspection. But I would have loved to have done the rock climbing or the bikes.
Oh,
There was the
yeah.
paint bikes by the rock climbing. I didn't get to do. There's so much stuff I didn't get to do. So
Wow.
that would be my only thing. I wish I had
to actually
we
get
are
to enjoy.
believing, Bree, that our pastors gave us the go ahead. It's something that's been a I don't know, I wouldn't say dream, but something. But we're going to move forward with Sunday morning service at the Extravaganza. So we're going to take our church service for one day only from the walls of the house church to the venue this year, the morning of. So that's going to be super exciting.
Wow, that's
I don't know how
cool.
that's going to work for me. I'm actually the children's pastor, so I don't know.
So wearing
how
all the
that's going to work
hats.
with the kids. But I guess we'll all be together. I guess.
That's cool.
That would be. I can see it now. Hey, Mike, I need you to take the kids to the playground while we have the service over here. Like, hopefully, we get all together. But yeah,
I love it.
But
So now,
I'll-
Bree,
go
did
ahead.
this give you? I'm sorry, Bree, did this give you the itch to continue writing and maybe performing some more? Because you really do have the talent.
Thank you.
Truly do.
I really appreciate you saying that. It did. I think for a while, I think just because I struggle with my self-esteem, and I just said like, oh, because I'm not like amazing, I'm just not gonna do it. And then I think I started to realize that that's like betraying myself because I love to write and be creative, and
Mhm.
it doesn't matter what people think if you feel like God has that on your heart to share it.
Amen.
So it honestly kickstarted for me. Like I have a goal to write more songs this year, and I'd like to complete one and share it somewhere, an open mic or something.
I love that.
Yeah. So I'm
That's-
really appreciative for the whole thing.
So if I can talk a little bit to that for a second. First of all, I thought your singing and writing was exceptional. It wasn't
Thank you.
mundane, and I don't use that as a negative term, mundane. It differentiates. You've heard the term, I'm sure you, maybe your husband have heard, consistency beats resistance. And it doesn't matter. I have to tell you, I coached Division I softball, coached Division III football, played Division III football,
Oh wow.
head coach in a lot of places. And I've mentioned this before. I've written and directed, produced 2 documentaries.
Wow.
The person with the best talent, quote unquote, who has no consistency, no belief in themselves, you don't get your belief from anybody else but you and God. God first, then you. I use this analogy way too often, and I butcher some of the ways that is presented in the Bible. But much like Jesus's apostles when they went out, knock on that door, and if they don't invite you in, or if they don't like me, just take the dust-off sandals and just move on. They just move on. Don't worry about them. Just move on. And you have a gift.
Thank you.
We were doing the dunk tank, and I told you this before we did the interview. And I turned around and I said, "Is that real? Like, is this person, or is that a record? Is that and it was wonderful."
Oh, thank you. That means a lot to me. And I love that you said that about the consistency and everything.
Mhm.
Just a side thing. Also, the event inspired me with my family. I told my husband Ben that I want, us and the kids at the end of every year to have like a family talent show, and we like
Love
share
that.
something that we work on, and
Yeah.
whatever it is, you create something, sing something, play something you learn that you put time into, and to have a little family talent show every year.
That's so cool. Yep.
Yeah.
We'll have to let Ben know in the fine print of you participating in the event and him getting on stage, he'll actually have to get in the dunk tank next year. So
Yes, I
let
love
him
it.
know.
Great idea.
Yeah, I was a little bit terrified though, because they always say, "Oh, no big deal. It's be a man, go in there." But when you purchase a dunk tank, you don't know what the weather is going to be like. And I know Florida is always hot, right? But so I'm grateful that it was decent temperature where we were able to put people in the dunk tank, because if it would have been like 50s or
Yeah.
60s, it would have
It could
been
be
a challenge,
worse.
for sure.
Yeah.
I can share that. So right after the final, the final 2 were there, and they announced that Oliver had won and stuff, I had an elf come up to me, and I had the Grinch come up to me, and they said, one said, "How come Briahnna wasn't in the top 2?" And then I had the other one ask about the gymnast, the aerialist, how come she wasn't in the top 2? And there was so much of that, like from my team, all different teams. Why didn't
Oh,
so-and-so
wow.
make it? Why didn't so-and-so make it? And yes, it's nice to win the cash prize or whatever, but to glorify God in the way that we
Yeah.
did, and and it was just beautiful. And it wasn't even a thing like this, like it wasn't. All it said was family friendly, and God provided. Like we didn't pick certain acts because they sang Christian songs, or we didn't mandate it be Christian or Christmas, but God showed up. Like it was beautiful.
Wow.
And I can also confirm there was a tiebreaker for third place, and you had fallen short 2-1 in that one. So if it's any peace of mind, you did finish 4th place overall.
That
so
honestly
should have been third. They actually
that
did
means
say,
everything to me.
after they gave the result to me, they did say, "Oh, I don't know, maybe I made okay, I told you I got to go with it."
The
they
talent
wanted
was amazing.
They wanted like a dance off, or not a dance off, like a song off thing, but we didn't have time to do that. So
wow.
but
That
just wanted
honestly,
to share that. So,
that does make me feel good. Thank you for
just want to
sharing
encourage you to, and even if you
Yeah.
don't want to do it on a big stage or whatever, even like the family talent show, like that's awesome. Like whatever way you can.
Oh yeah, it
have
really
your
did
gift.
inspire me. I feel like I'll just share how I heard about the event. I feel like it was a God thing because I don't get out of the house much. Obviously, I have 2 toddlers. And I met up with a friend I hadn't seen in a long time. We went to Moon River Cafe in downtown Melbourne. They had a singer-songwriter night. And as I was leaving, they mentioned the event. So I heard it like as I was walking out the door, and I remembered it. And then after a few days, I just felt the tug to try to find it online, and I did, and was able to audition and everything. But so it just felt like a God thing how I even heard about it.
That's great.
So yeah.
So do you have any? I know you mentioned that for this December or whatnot. But, so what would you say would be your like short-term goals for 2026? Like in terms of like, okay, I don't necessarily need to do this, but I want to at least write one song, or at least want to do this. Like, do you have like specific goals in mind, or are you still kind of preparing that? Or
Still prepared. I'd say definitely. I've told myself just for the year to have a loose goal of complete one song. Like I've already started writing some, but to actually complete it, feel confident and practiced enough where I can share it somewhere, is my goal for the year. So we'll see. And if I exceed that goal, wonderful. But hopefully I meet it.
That's cool. And did you get a chance? I forgot. Like as I know with everything going on, you got a chance to meet like Eddie Frost and some of the Kim Curie was up there and stuff.
Yes.
And it just felt like one of the things that we say at our church is family is our heartbeat. And so I just felt like a big extravaganza family. And we had Alyssa on a couple of weeks ago, and we're like, I told her, and I'm going to tell you the same thing, is keep your phone handy, available, because family is our heartbeat. And whether it's at a parade, whether it's helping another extravaganza, whatever the case may be, one thing, at least for me and most of my team, is we don't look at these kind of events like, oh, we need something, let's call somebody. Like we try to develop that relationship to so where it's like we can lift them up, we can encourage them, we can kind of help them get to where they want to be. So just so you know, just be available.
That's
just
awesome.
in case.
Yeah, and I could definitely tell it feels like a family there.
Yeah.
For sure. That's really cool.
Yeah, I was so grateful to be able to have Darren come down, because he's in I'm here in Florida, he's in Cape Cod, so then he was able to come down for the weekend.
Didn't know that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I know, but I don't know if you can tell, we don't really have these nice houses. It's shout out to
I should have done that. Honestly.
Yeah, sometimes I have, like, if I'm in the right place, I can have a like my background at home, but like sometimes like the wall behind me wouldn't be doing justice. So we get the very nice clean houses right now that we have.
Love it.
Yes.
I need to do the same.
But Darren, you're up here. But one thing we love to do on the show, and we got about 10 minutes left, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
So we won't end with this, but we always love to throw one of these on there. Darren's final could be anything question. Be prepared. It could literally be about waffles, pancakes, or
I have a dog named Waffles.
What was that?
I said I have a dog named Waffles.
Okay. First question. Why'd you name your dog Waffle?
I get to pick the breed of dog. My husband.
Oh, I got
got to pick the name.
What's the breed?
I have a little bug. She is a Labradoodle, and she's
love a Labradoodle. Those are great dogs. They really are.
Yeah.
And you know what? The name Waffle fits. I can see that.
Yeah, it's perfect. Suits her personality.
That is outstanding. Okay, it's really a two-parter. First, well, actually, two different questions. One is kind of regular, just so people get to know you. What is your favorite movie of all time and why? So let me get
Okay.
that first.
Favorite movie of all time. It's not necessarily one, but I love the Lord of the Rings films.
Oh, love that. Love that.
They're
Yeah, that's
sentimental
awesome.
to me. I used to watch them with my brothers. We would have movie nights, and one of my brothers would act like Smeagol. It was a great time. I
Well,
love
that's
them. Love
great.
the books. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's my favorite.
Yeah, I'm a big fan as well of the first three, and The Hobbit. After that, I was like,
Yes.
yeah,
The first Hobbit, good. Yeah. The
yeah,
other ones,
yeah,
yeah.
right.
I agree.
And so now here's another important question. Ready? Now, actually, the other question I had, I don't know, you may not even know, but do you prefer? You're making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, okay? You're making, theoretically, you're making it for the kids or whatever. Is it ever appropriate to start with the jelly?
Oh,
I've never thought of that. I'm
haven't
sorry, I
thought
have to
about
chime
it
in. I've never thought about doing that. That is genius. But go ahead.
Thank you. I agree with you, Mike. I don't want to say how I feel, but
either. Yeah,
we
I
agree.
always start with the peanut butter
You
first.
got to.
You gotta.
Yes. Now, do you do the peanut butter on this slice of bread and the jelly on this slice of bread and then combine the two, or do you just lop it on?
Trying to think about what I do. I actually think I just put it right on top of the peanut butter,
All
and then
right. That's good.
yeah, and
Crunchy.
I like a lot of jelly.
A lot of
Yeah.
jelly.
Ben
Very
thinks
good.
it's disgusting, but I like it.
We have an expert that wants to just chime in real quick with his
Please.
thoughts. Our mascot of the show, but he just wants to chime in. He is a huge peanut butter and jelly fan.
There it is.
That's how he likes to do it.
Looks like my
No
boys when they eat
rules,
peanut butter and
just-
jelly.
I
Yeah.
love
the cabinet and just go nuts. That's
that seriously, that might be your best work there, Mike. I love that one because you can tell Paddington is very passionate about peanut butter and jelly, and he'll enjoy himself. So now
Love it.
here's two more questions, and then real quick, it has to do with peanut butter and jelly. So, chunky or plain or smooth?
Plain,
Yep,
smooth.
me too.
Smooth and creamy.
Do you ever get fancy and cut it corner-wise, or do you go straight down the middle?
I go straight down the middle. I'm
Me
never
too.
fancy.
Me too. Do you ever toast it?
Sometimes
See?
so. I've got to ask you
with
this,
a little
Darren, real
honey
quick.
too.
Oh, yes.
Good, yes. I've got to ask you this, Darren, because you just inspired this question. When we get to the levels that eventually we will get, because God is good all the time, right? So
Amen.
when we go to our first, when we get our first press pass to a clubhouse, and we get an opportunity to go to a game where someone hit a walk-off home run, scores a walk-off goal, whatever. Your first question, can it be about peanut butter and jelly? Like, I want to be like, that's who I want to be as a podcaster. I don't want to ask the boring question that everybody else asks. We got to know the good, important stuff. Like,
you know something? I will definitely do that unless I'm lying. No, I will definitely do that. And it's very interesting you mentioned that because we will get there. We will get there one day, and we'll ask those kind of questions. So, Bree, what did you think of those questions? A little tough, right?
I love them. Yeah. A little difficult, but
Yes, yeah. right.
I was worried you're going to ask me sports questions, and I was terrified.
Was it last week or the week before? We had a guest on. I was like, I don't know too much about them. I go, don't worry about it. We'll never get there anyway. We just go down rabbit holes. And we just organically go down rabbit holes.
Like we've had some guests that are diehard, literally work for a team, and so they know everybody, and they're like, but don't ask us about players from the '60s. I'm like, I'm good. I don't know anything about So we always make sure first, we're not gonna throw an off the wall question that they're not.
That's funny. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
The secret to, in my opinion, a successful podcast is belief in each other. Obviously, thank you, God. But your job, our job, is to make our guests feel comfortable, never do gotcha, and make them laugh. Or, if it's a funny thing, whatever their wheelhouse is, bring out the wheelhouse and let them come across as they're sitting in a coffee shop, just having a conversation.
I appreciate that. Honestly, and I mean, I feel super comfortable talking with
Oh,
you.
that's
I
great.
started, obviously, I was nervous, but
Of course.
I feel so. Thank you for being just, so nice and welcoming and no sports gotcha questions. I appreciate it.
Good plan. So part of because a lot of people ask sometimes, why don't you do just sports? Like, so the title Around the Ballpark means that we know we're going to talk a lot of sport questions. We're going to have a lot of guests and episodes relating to sports, but we don't want to just, have only guests that are related to sports or people that watch only are into sports. But more importantly, on our way to the ballpark, we talk about other things. We talk about movies, we talk about shows,
Right.
whatever. So in that regard, that's where the name comes. Yes, that's going to be
That's
our bread
cool.
and butter. But to have these I love these specialty episodes. We even did one in Christmas, the top 10 things in Home Alone that made no sense.
Right.
We love doing those as well. And that was you get a chance to go back and watch that one.
I'm going to have to see
Hilarious
that one. That's funny.
Even another one we did was the top 10 rules in sports you wouldn't know. That was
Oh,
hilarious.
cool.
Some stuff that I knew was a thing.
Wow.
So those kind of things are fun every once in a while outside the box
That's
stuff.
cool. I'll
And
have to
again,
check that
a
out.
little inside knowledge here. I love my brother very much, but I love it because he does not tell me until because we do live shows on Thursdays and Sundays. So Wednesday night I get hey, we're going to be doing that, and I just love it because it's extemporaneous. It's like it would be if you're talking to a friend at a coffee shop. I mean,
Right.
so it's fun.
Yeah, 'cause even the
love that.
talking
More
points
organic.
are generic because we like to just be random and stuff. So
Yeah. I love that. That's awesome.
like this week we don't have a guest lineup for Thursday, so Wednesday at some point you'll get a weird text from me with what it's gonna be. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Keeps you on your toes. That's
Yes.
awesome.
So
we
my
had-
final question, Darren.
Oh,
that's it.
go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Super rabbit hole. So I cannot when I go to sleep, I can't just shut the lights off, go to sleep. I need something on TV till I get to the point where I'm tired, then I can shut it off. I don't want it on all night.
Mm.
So I can't put on a movie that's going to hook me in because then I'm going to be up all hours of the night. So I have to put on something comfortable that I've seen 150,000 times. So for me, that's Seinfeld. Just because I know I've seen it so much, but I don't have to necessarily be I could be scrolling on the phone or I could be thinking of this. Do you have a show that is your go-to in that position? Not so much to be lounging on the couch on a Friday evening, but that final thing that you would watch or do. Maybe it's getting into the Word, devotional.
Mhm.
Maybe it's putting on whatever the case may be. Do you have something like that for you as well?
Yeah. Well, if I had to pick a show, mine would be The Office or Parks and Rec, just to have on in the background for sure. This year I've started trying to read a chapter in bed before I fall asleep. I
Nice.
do still have to help my toddler fall asleep. So I have to hide my light
So
in my book.
I have to give you a tip then. Maybe I can impart this quote unquote wisdom. But
Love it.
so when my daughter was a toddler, she's 14 now, but when she was a toddler, I would read her a chapter as well before bed. And I found it hard to know when she was actually falling asleep. So what I would do, and I think I shared this once with you, Darren, was I would go to Genesis and I would go to the Begots and I would start butchering the names. And if she didn't start giggling and laughing, then I knew she was out cold. That
That's
was
so funny.
that was my way to know.
Butcher
that she
test.
was-
Love that.
I'm gonna steal that. That's awesome.
Because
I love
so
it.
often we get caught up and we have to get through a whole chapter. Sometimes, sometimes God's like, no, just here's a verse, chew on it for a week, and then
Yep.
because I'll be honest, nobody takes notes on the Begots and writes that down. Now, yes, it's important to get from point A to point Z or whatever,
Right.
but so
I love
there's been a Bible study or two where someone misses the assignment and we tell them what chapter and verse to read, and they get into a Begot and we let them finish before we let them know, dude, that wasn't what we were going for. But
I love that.
So-
Oh my goodness.
But
That's
I can't
awesome.
believe it's been 40 minutes already, plus the other time. So thank you so much, Brie. I'll let you get to your normal routine
Of
tonight. It was an
course.
absolute pleasure to chat. I'm sure we will again. Open invitation anytime to visit the house church. We're part of the Big C Church, so we're never like, oh, come to our
Love
church
it.
instead. It's just an open invitation to visit, because if you're you're plugged in somewhere, stay where you are, all that good stuff. But just as a token of thank you for participating, we just want to extend that olive branch just in case.
Very cool.
Darren can't go because he's up in there, but he did get to come that Sunday. That was awesome.
That was great.
Oh, that's
It was
awesome.
funny
Yeah,
because
thank y'all so much.
so many people at the church have been guests here and there, and so as I'm walking through the parking lot with him, they're like, Darren, oh, you know, so it was a big like reunion.
Oh, that's cool.
It really was.
That's really cool. Thank y'all so much for having me. This has been so much fun.
Well, thank you for blessing us with your appearance.
Yes,
Thank
thank you so
you.
much. And guys, again, join us Thursday, 9:00. We will be talking about something with somebody, maybe not. Maybe it'll just be us talking about whatever. But thank you so much. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button. We're so close to 3950. Please help us get there. Spread the word. We want to get to 4,000 by the end of February. So help us with that. Until next time, we will see you around the ballpark. Bye, guys.